Hello tube dwellers and welcome. I'm the Arcadean and this is Mabinogi Duel. Now, you'll have to bear with me. Today I am very sick, as people who watched yesterday's live stream will be well aware. So please excuse any disgusting noises that I may make during the course of this video. Alright, that being said, today's deck is focused around a new BLZ card and one of my favorites from the very latest sort of expansion on the collaboration. It's kind of weird how they've done it, kind of a split release of BlazBlue. Anyway, one of my favorites from the new releases in BlazBlue, Susa-noooooo. Very, very cool card, and we'll get into it. So, first of all, let's take a look at the deck. It's a triple color deck, as always, 4 colors of each camp. We start out with Gidea's Flying Sword, very solid, 1-drop mana creature, very, very useful. And Free Summon, excellent for dealing with, say, Resurrection decks, gimmicky decks like that you may come across. And also a very good counter to Hunter Piole, who, as basically a free removal spell, has been kind of dominating the meta recently. So Free Summon takes care of him. Next up, Green Elf, again, same as Gidea's Flying Sword, good 1-cost creature, and Light Elf, once again, good 1-cost creature. Then we have Holy Missile, a very good 1-cost removal spell, especially good against darkness creatures, which are fairly prevalent in the meta, always. So Holy Missile is very good, and it's just useful for taking out weak creatures or weakening higher HP value creatures. Next up, Firebolt, 2-cost removal spell, very good mana removal, and Command Hunting, again a 2-cost removal spell, one of the best in nature. Next up, we have Golden Garden Cat. Once we've depleted our enemy's resources, or we're sure that they don't have anything to remove, or we even want to bait out a removal spell, drop the Golden Garden Cat. Either your opponent will use a removal spell, which will then make your other creatures a little bit safer, or he won't, in which case you get a lot of resources every turn. Next up is Surprise Attack, 2-cost removal spell, always have a surprise attack in any deck containing light. And Casanova's Mask, kind of a combination betrayal capture. For those of you who don't know, the description is actually almost completely wrong, so ignore that. Basically what you do is you cast it on one of your creatures, then whatever enemy creature is in front of that allied creature will be pulled onto your side of the field and paralyzed for either 2 or 6 turns. Now, after the paralysis wears off, the creature does not go back to your opponent. He stays on your side of the field. Very, very useful card. Next up, pardon me, Hunter Piole, a card which no doubt has half of you envious of the fact that I have it and the other half wanting to rip out my throat. But look at that guy, look at his dog, it's adorable. How can you hate that? Hunter Piole is kind of a polarizing card, shall we say. Basically, he's a free removal spell if you use him correctly, which makes him extraordinarily powerful. So, you know, if you can't beat him, join him. We'll use a Hunter Piole ourselves. And finally, Susa-noooooo, the card around which the deck is built. This guy is basically a more expensive, more powerful, rechargeable Hellhound. Very, very strong if you play him in the right situations. As you can see from his stats, they are quite ridiculous. 5, 8, and 11 attack value, 17, 20, and 23 HP value. Very, very powerful. 6, 7, and 8 resources, of course, so you do need to be careful, and that's where the Golden Garden Cat can help out. But his special ability to deal AoE damage every single turn, provided you manage his kills correctly, makes him just absolutely phenomenal. 9 damage potentially every single turn, and because it activates at the end of the turn, it's guaranteed to activate on the same turn that you play him, which is always what you're looking for in abilities. Activate at end of turn abilities are always some of the most powerful. So I've really been enjoying this card. I've run him through a few practice games, so let's take him into some actual fights and see how well he does. Okay, first fight against a Japanese, Chinese? I actually don't know where that flag is from. I apologize. PvP second Dan player using the Christmas Skin. Used to be one of my favorites. So let's see how this goes. Once again, I apologize for my noises. I am very sick here. Please do bear with it, and be sure to point out all of the misplays I make due to my raging fever. Alright, so Sarah, we'll just say, because I can't read that that kanji, opens with an elf. We have no real answers to that in our hand at the moment, so we will just play an aggressive elf of our own. She plays an aggressive elf of her own, and with nature and light, I would normally have expected this to be a gimmick deck. Yeah, it's 4, so I'm going to do it. A gimmick deck based around Wave of Life, but this is a very aggressive opening play for Wave of Life. So we use Command Hunting just to get a little bit of damage off the board. We're using the S hero from the new Blaze Blue event because she's just incredibly good. Really, really good hero. But unfortunately, her ability is kind of working out against us at the moment. We're taking 1 extra damage thanks to the elf hitting us directly. Dual-wielding Iltutmish comes out. Interesting. Okay. Very, very aggressive. So this is basically, what, a 2-color aggro deck. Very interesting to see. So that's 6 plus 2, plus an extra 2 damage going to come out. So that's basically 10 damage a turn unless we can deal with this. We'll drop the Kadir's Flying Sword in front of that elf. Defector Malus hits it, but we're not too worried about that, honestly. Because we'll still kill thanks to the extra 3 damage that our S hero gives each of the enemies. Now we can't target Iltutmish with a spell, but she has no HP, well, she has no resources rather, so we'll drop the Golden Garden Cat on the far right hand side. She can't really deal with that. So let's see, she charges up. And will she go for something? She drops into green. Alright, could be Cocoon Trap, could be Ambush Fun, could be Hidden Spider. Either way, the Golden Garden Cat does get its ability off. Piolet's not going to help us out right now. It needs to be another level higher. Let's drop another elf. Oh, it's Mist went into the grave. Very interesting. So Mist drops the elf in front of that Iltutmish. It's no big deal, really. And we'll charge up. So that actually blocks that Iltutmish's attack. That works out quite well for us. And the elf and the Golden Garden Cat get their attack values off. Surprise attack comes out on the Golden Garden Cat. Yep, down it goes. No big surprise there. We're actually alright with that. And we'll level up. Now we could Casanova's Mask at Iltutmish, but there's no real point. So we'll just charge up. The elf is going to die. Iltutmish is going to move, as you can see, and she's going to deal her 6 damage plus 1, thanks to our S's ability kind of working against us, but it's no big deal. We can take that kind of damage, no problem. So our opponent is charging up, 6 and 3. She's getting there. We are close to being able to bring out Susa-noooooo. So let's see, what do we want to do? I mean, I would prefer not to leave Iltutmish out onto the field dealing her damage, but I don't really think we have much choice. Fortunately, our opponent can't be running an Arrow of Revenge. We'll drop a freeze summon just in case she's saving up her green for something big and nasty, and let's see. So 7 nature, she could be building up towards something big. Hunt comes out, so she's afraid of the fatal damage. That still leaves us with fatal on the board.
Accumulated resource.
Golden Garden Cat comes out and it's free summon, but that doesn't help us at all in front of the Kadir's Flying Sword. Okay, so she's using the Golden Garden Cat as a blocker, basically. Which is quite interesting. Now, we could just Casanova's Mask that cat out of the way. But I want to bring out Susa-noooooo because I really like this card. So let's do it. Let's bring out Susa-noooooo. Just thinking about, yeah, no, let's bring out Susa-noooooo. I mean, come on, seriously, that's the card around which the deck is built. And this is a good indicator of how this sort of thing works. So you can see that, you know, thanks to the Kadir's Flying Sword damage, Susa-noooooo is able to kill the thing, and now it's regained a whole bunch of energy, which is really, really nice. The next turn, of course, we win for sure. The Kadir's Flying Sword, the elf, and of course Iltutmish is going to get out of the way of Susa-noooooo. So we don't really need to worry too much about it. The acid monster comes out. Alright, that's interesting. So that's going to drop the attack value of the Kadir's Flying Sword. No real problems there. As I say, I mean, we can holy missile the acid monster. No, I really shouldn't be doing all of this. I'm aware, but I'm sick, so I'm enjoying myself. Okay, we'll just charge out there, and Ultimate jumps out of the way. The elf and the Susanoo lands the finishing blow. I apologize to my opponent there. We should have finished that 2 rounds earlier, but I've been taking medicine and things all day, so I want to have fun. I want to use Susanoo. Dang it. Next fight. Okay, fight number 2 against a Japanese player, Omidarian. PvP first dan using Tina. We'll try to have a more gentlemanly fight in this one. Grr, I'm mad now. I don't know why she's mad, but okay. Happy. Not too bad. Okay. Practice game rise. Saying hello. We'll say hello as well. Protecting Azure, that's meaning my existence. That is a weird way of saying hello. Yes, but alright. We'll charge up. Play defensively. She's charging up as well. Let's put a little bit of pressure on center field because we have command hunting. Let's see how she deals with that. Goblin Chieftain. Interesting. Okay, well, Piole can basically deal with the Goblin Chieftain for free, so let's just do that. It leaves the Goblin on the field, of course, but there's nothing we can do about that. So with mana, I'm kind of expecting to see Phantom of the Wolf in here, some sort of Flood chip deck. The Darkness could be Orperia. Susanoo can kill the Goblin and anything else fair value that she brings out. Phantom of the Wolf, she didn't bring it out in front of the elf. That's a little unfortunate. Otherwise, it would have been really perfect for Susanoo. Let's see. Hunter Piole can come out and deal with that Goblin for free. Susanoo can come out and deal with the Goblin for free. I think... because we could weaken the Phantom. Let's go for it. Let's try this. Let's bring out Susanoo really early because she doesn't have many resources here. Very little gold, no mana, and almost no, well, and low darkness. So you're going to say something. I can't think of anything that would be nice. Let's go angry. You will be eliminated. That seems appropriate. So she could bring out like a drag to hell or a death sentence. All right, interesting. Very, very expensive card there. Cost her 5 to remove our card. And that takes her down to basically no resources whatsoever. Because she has no resources, let's snag that Goblin Bomb Squad out of the way. If she doesn't kill it, then that'll become ours in 6 turns. And we'll drop the Golden Garden Cat because there's no possible way she can remove that now. And the Golden Garden Cat will be able to kill the enemy creature thanks to S's +3 attack ability. Or +3 damage, I should say. So we get a little bit of a couple extra resources, which is nice. Level up to 3 and charge up because we have battlefield control at this point. The elf gets a couple of shots off and the Golden Garden Cat kills the poor little girl. Alright, she has a lot of mana. So we might see an Ice Spear. Maybe. Let's see. She's thinking about it. Platinum the Trinity. Interesting. And it gains 4 into defense. Okay. So protected against the Golden Garden Cat to a certain extent, but I think we'll just remove that. It's no threat to the Golden Garden Cat. Cat would still kill it, but I think we want more damage than anything else right now. So let's just throw out the Fireball, take care of that. And we'll charge up a couple of times. That gives us resource lead and forces her to continually respond to our creatures rather than play anything aggressive of her own. So she's getting to the point where she can afford a flame emission if she has one. Skeleton Soldier comes out on the far right hand side, so she's ignoring the 6 damage and going aggressive with 10 on her side of the field. Interesting. But thanks to that Golden Garden Cat continually giving us resources, we can be a little bit blasé about that. We'll revive and fire the Holy Missile. That takes care of that, and we will charge up. Maintaining a good resource lead and dealing a decent amount of damage, 6 damage each time. There's the flame emission that we predicted. Down goes the elf and the Golden Garden Cat. Now she might be unaware of Casanova's mask effect, which is one reason why I really enjoy using it. She might think that the Goblin Bomb Squad is going to come back onto her side of the field. So we'll play the Kadir's Flying Sword just to keep the pressure up and keep our resources low, and we'll charge up to keep our own resources nice and high. So let's see. We've got Fatal in 2 rounds, unless she does something seriously tricky here. But basically checkmate in 2. I don't really see how she can stop us. If she'd played any creatures, that would have been a perfect time to drop Susa-noooooo, but she hasn't, so we will just keep charging up like this. There we go, maintain a resource advantage. No point in playing creatures when you don't have to, it just opens them up for AoE removal, so just play it sensibly like this. And we get the Goblin Bomb Squad on our next turn, which she may not be aware of. Phantom of the Wolf comes out and blocks the Kadir's Flying Sword. And Grave Golem comes out. That's absolutely fine. We don't need to worry about that. We can just... I mean, we don't even need to Casanova's Mask, but just to get it onto our side of the field, that Phantom of the Wolf. It's a good habit to get into almost with Phantom of the Wolf. If you have the opportunity to bring it over to your side of the field for cheap, then do so, because the extra damage on a deck like this, which is mostly chip, is very, very valuable. So... yeah, again, kind of an unnecessary thing, but it's good habits when you see an attack buffing creature. Good game to our opponent. And that was round 2. Yay. And that was the Susa-noooooo deck. As you can see, a very powerful card, and the deck that surrounds it is pretty frustrating for your opponents. So if you'd like to run this deck in your own game, there's the share code up in the top right-hand corner. As always, give it a go. Let me know what you think of Susa-noooooo. I know there's a lot of really good new cards in the Blaze Blue expansion, and we'll be covering a lot of them in the coming weeks. But yeah, tell me what you think about this guy. I'm really, really enjoying using him personally. So that's it for this video, and that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to all the Arcanauts who have subscribed so far. Until next time, have fun, and good luck.